Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Melani Sharifah. Today I will tell you about 10 ways to have a better conversation by Kelly Hadley. A conversation requires a balance between talking and listening. And somewhere along the way, we lost that balance. Now part of that is due to technology. The smartphone that you all either have in your hands or close enough that you could grab them really quickly. According to Pew Research, about a third of American teenagers send more than 100 texts in a day, and many of them, almost most, text their friends that they are to talk to them face to face. There are 10 ways to have a better conversation. Number 1 is don't multitask. If you want to get out to the conversation, get out of the conversation, but don't be half in it and half out of it. Number 2, don't participate. If you want to state your opinion without any opportunity for response or argument or pass back or grow, you can write in a blog. Number 3, use open-ended questions. In this case, take a cue from journalists. Start your question with who, what, when, where, why, and how. If you put in completed question, you are going to get a simple answer. Number 4, go with the flow. That means thoughts will come into your mind and you need to let them go out of your mind. Number 5 is if you don't know something, say that you don't know. Number 6, then acquire your experience with there. If they are talking about having lost a family member, don't start talking about the time that you lost a family member. If they are talking about the trouble they are having at work, don't tell them about how much you hate your job. It is not the same. It is never the same. All experiences are individual. And more importantly, it is not about you. You don't need to take that moment to prove how amazing you are or how much you have suffered. Number 7, try not to repeat yourself. It is condescending and it's really boring. And we tend to do it a lot, especially in work conversation or in conversation with our kids. We have a point to make, so we just keep repeating it over and over. Don't do that. Number 8, stay out of the weeds. Frankly, people don't care about the years, the name, the dates, all those details that you are trying to come up with in your mind. They don't care about it. What they care about is you. They care about what you are like, what you have in common. So forget the details. Leave them out. Number 9, This is not the last, but it is the most important one. Listen. I know it takes effort and energy to actually pay attention to someone, but if you can do that, you are not in conversation. You are just two people shooting out barely related sentences in the same place. You have to listen to one another. And last, be brief. A good conversation is like a mini skirt, short enough to retain interest, but long enough to cover the subject. The second title is A Talk About Motivation by British Council. We think we know how to motivate people, right? Offer them a reward. Do this and you will get this. Do this faster, earn more money. Do this better than everyone else. Here's a promotion. But when social psychologists test whether incentive work, they get surprising results. Sam Clarksburg set people a problem to solve and told them he was going to time them to see how long they took. Then he put them into groups. He offered one group a reward for finishing fast. To the other group, he offered no incentive. The first group solved the problem faster, but actually they took 3.5 minutes longer than the group who just took they were being timed. Incentive didn't work and it made them slower. It means that if you want someone to do something complex, something creative, something where they have to think, rewards don't work. The reward made them focus too hard on the result that they couldn't think creatively anymore. So what does work? Giving a worker freedom to work on the things they want to work on. Freedom to choose when, where, and how they work. And evidence shows people who choose the way they work get results. Some of the big tech companies are good examples of this, with ping pong tables and areas to relax in. The third title is How Slow Streets Are Changing Cities by BBC World Life. COVID-19 caused a rapid shift in travel infrastructure to make streets friendlier to bikers and pedestrians. Bogota is infamous for having the worst traffic, but its cycling infrastructure is considered an exemplary model of sustainable urban mobility. Many European cities, including Paris, have fast-tracked plans to build more bike-friendly streets, and now biking has enjoyed a renaissance around the world as urbanites shun public transport for the relative safety of two-wheeled commute. The last title is My Own Self from Bedtime Story. In a tiny house in the North Country, far away from any town or village, there lived not long ago a poor widow all alone with her little son, a 6 years old boy. In the story, there is a boy who doesn't want to obey his mother's word. They don't have neighborhood, but many a tale she could tale of the good folk calling to each other in the oak trees. One night, just at the far end of winter, the widow could not make up her mind to go off to bed and leave him playing by the fireside. The widow pants, and well she knew that on such a night, fairies and such like were bound to be out and about, and bent on mischief. So she tried to coax the boy into going at once to bed, but he doesn't obey his mother. He started playing beside the fire, then there was something in the chimney, and he found a very small girl. It is fairy. And she said the same word with the boys. It is about my own self. Then they played together. But the fire was getting low, and the fly came, and presently the little boy stirred the coals with a stick to make them kiss. When a tongue a red hot cinder, and where should it fall? But on the fairy-killed tiny foot. It made the fairy scan very lovely. Then there was a sound in the chimney again, but in this time the little boy didn't wait to see what it was, but pulled off the bed, where he hid under the blankets and listened in fear and trembling to what went on. That is a fairy, mother. She is very angry because the scream loudly for the child fairy. It makes the little boy scared and make the little boy be better person. That's all for me. If you found any mistake, please forgive me. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.